is the AWP meta dead in CS2? That is the only question I'm sitting left with after seeing this stat line from Complexity vs BetBoom. Most AWP kills, Hallzerk, with 1. A map like Ancient that have been dominated by AWPers, with middle, A main, B ramp, and more fights. So how in the world did we only see 1 AWP kill in this match? I know I sound different. I just went back and wanted to add some more context to everything leading up to round 12. The game traded rounds, and here none of the teams were able to build up a proper bank. Until a round 4 where Sorty could have bought an AWP and went without head armor and some utility. But this round BetBoom decides to rather do a full on B push, Russian style. So bringing in the AWP to this round would have just slowed the whole team down. In round 9, 5 rounds later, BetBoom had finally been able to build a bank and could have went for the AWP, seeing they've lost all 5 players last round. But if you can tell by the setup, an AWP could have been good to either bring towards B or middle. Due to them having a player solo ramp, usually you just boost up the AWPer here and let them stay there with the AWP, while the rest tries to take more map control. But the problem in this round is that how split BetBoom gets. And if that is the goal, it's fine, but having an AWP then who will be left alone is never ideal, and I can see why BetBoom dropped having an AWP here. But I will say this for all of these middle fights in this round, an AWP would have been better than some AKs fighting off a leech. But a beautiful clutch and Complexity is back to having no money, so now we can get back to round 12. It took the match 12 rounds before we saw the first AWP, and it was on Hallzerk, and this is insane. How did both teams who have dedicated AWPers take 12 rounds before buying their first AWP throughout the game? Like in this match, we saw both teams fighting for mid and ramp control for multiple rounds, so why did not BetBoom think of having an AWP? Or Complexity thinking that an AWP top mid would have been better than a leech who is 6 and 10 in round 12. But let's see how the AWP was used by Complexity. Complexity starts with 3 players taking middle control with a deep smoke and a Molotov to make sure BetBoom can't push out of the smoke fast. And then having 2 players checking middle, while Hallzerk goes for this fun but very hard jump to make it to Fortnite. Sorry about that callout, but that's what we call it when we play, deal with it. And here I like an aggressive open middle, since I still think on a map like Ancient, an aggressive AWPer wins so much more for their team rather than a passive one. While the last 2 Complexity players are going towards B. 1 Molotov's ramp and 1 player taking cave control, just to help the mid push by Complexity. BetBoom are going 1 middle stuck behind the smoke, 2 ramp who have smoked cave from spawn like this, a great way to do so since a fast cave smoke is good since so many times you can be caught off guard by throwing the smoke from ramp while running to an aggressive CT player peeking from middle, so it's a good alternative to do so. And then the last 2 players are in spawn, getting ready to use some utility and just help where it's needed. And here Hallzerk decides it's his time to shine, and here he finds an opening in the cave smoke, but remember the T sees this as well after he misses the shot. And the AWP is out of play with 0 impact. But it's not all lost. Nefany tries to take more middle control and here Floppy finds him through the smoke. And Chiron's solo play out on A is met by the wall Complexity calls Grims. And the man advantage is not neutralized but given to Complexity. But BetBoom are still trying to take B side since they now are only 3 players left. But Complexity with all of the map control will know about this. And here Floppy goes huge, like look at this, he gets 1 kill and instantly looks to cave to look for the trader, then he goes back to peak side, gets another kill, do the same, looks for cave, looks for the trader, and then Sorty is able to trade him, just a masterclass in how to play from cave. And Sorty in the 1v3 can't win it.
Some people disagree, the duration of the smokes these days.
Yeah, that's true.
Quite hard to deal with. Hallzerk jumping up onto shelf, can't connect the shot, Nefany and Zorte punishing him. Floppy just dry straight through the smoke. Here's the T-steps crossing.
Man, Chiron's gone charging into the A bomb site once again, but can't get anything done. On the other side of the map though, Danis looking for those entries and can't get it. Floppy is having a great round here. And might be gifting Complexity their 5th round. Oh!
We are now seeing the second AWP buy of the match, and again it's on Hallzerk, so how will he have more impact this round? Complexity starts with using a lot of smokes, 1 top middle, 1 for cave and 1 for bottom mid, and this can be a problem for later rounds. So here Complexity needs to take map control. But Complexity slow play it after Floppy finds the first kill, and this makes sense since getting a man advantage should put pressure on the CT side. But BetBoom again is just taking it slowly. Why? Well, it all comes back to the strat. Right now Complexity have used a lot of smokes, and Sorty with a shotgun have gotten A main control. So even though Complexity have most of the map control, BetBoom have all the map control they need. Complexity's slow play is kind of forcing them to go to B after taking cave control, and in 5 seconds Complexity makes it to a 1v5. But this will not be all sunshines. First of all, BetBoom are on a weaker buy. So to see this happen after Complexity don't clear the corner is insane. And Siren gets it down to a 1v1. He started a round with an USPS. And I will let the caster do the rest.
Of the A1S. And that'll pretty much be the round done and dusted. Siren will be lucky if he can even get a kill here. Oh, maybe I spoke too soon. They've looked away. What can he do now? AK! Hang on a minute. Siren, the young gun. 2 isolated aim duels on offer. This would be a magnificent clutch. No way! Get it. A 1v5 for Siren. Holding on to the nade. It started with a USP. Can it finish with an AK? Oh, not quite. Ali saves the day, but that would have been a bloody moment.
Hallzerk is back with the AWP, a third appearance of it. And here, it was nothing interesting in this round. But it's the only AWP kill we saw in this game. And it's like a non-impact kill. His whole teammates have already died and he's just trying to get 1 kill to make it possible for his teammate to maybe win the 1v3. And here he gets 1 kill, gets traded instantly. In round 22, the first AWP for BetBoom is out on Sortie. Sortie? I don't know how to say this. And again, it's no impact. He's just wandering around on the map and misses a crucial kill on Cave, allowing Complexity to take it and win the round. And that's it. We saw 4 rounds that had an AWP, and it all totaled to 1 kill. That's an expensive kill. Now I want to dive deep into some reason for maybe why the AWP have not been as much played as it were in CSGO, as well as some other stats. But let's start with some stats. To get my point across, Saivu, one of the greatest players of all time in CSGO, had an average rating this year of 129 in CSGO, while at IEM Sydney, he had a rating of 1.14. And yeah, only a 0.15 decrease in rating, but that was enough to send Vitality out in last place of Sydney, while Shiro over the last 12 months had a rating of 125. While at Sydney, his rating decreased down to 0.96, a whole 0.3 reduction, and this got me thinking, what have happened to the role of AWPers? The format of every single map have changed from MR15 or max round 15, is the reason you played 15 CT rounds or T rounds, to MR12, max round 12. And that's the first problem for AWPers, since we are still in the same economy as CSGO. AWPers have fewer rounds to actually bring out the AWP, and some of these AWPers are dependent on the AWP to have impact. So let me illustrate this so you will understand better. After you win Pistol, you might not buy an AWP before round 4 or 3 if you dare. After winning Pistol, you will buy up in round 2. After winning round 2, you will save money for round 3, and if you lose round 3 to the enemy having better guns, you might have to force a rifle. So that means that in round 5, maybe 4, you will get your first AWP. This is almost half the way through the first half. And if you die and you keep losing it, you will usually only get 3 rounds with the AWP on each side. Versus CSGO, who would allow you to buy 4 or even 5 AWPs if you kept on dying. And this have nerfed a lot of AWPers' ability to shine with the big green. Next is peaker advantage. In CS2, it's very strong and just powerful, and this have made holding angles super hard. It's a reason phase rain is so good in CS2 now that you can just peek everything, and as an AWPer you're usually holding angles, so seeing this being harder for AWPers is a big kick to them. As well as flicks fails off, with Valve making them harder to hit, as well as the new subtic system playing a big role in this, and flicking is a crucial part to any AWPer's playstyle. HLTV found that the AWP had a minus 4.5% decrease in kills. And much of this is part of everything as we talked about above in this point. That means that we are seeing AWPer getting kills 5% less. And it's debatable is that the AWP just feels slower to scope, zoom, move and more. Might be a me thing, but with all of this we can see that AWP have been nerfed quite a bit going into the new age of Counter-Strike, with the release of Counter-Strike 2. Well yeah, the AWP role has changed, as we could clearly see in the breakdown. But is this bad? The AWP role has been dominating the CSGO scene for the last few years. And we have to go back to 2016 when Hallzerk was the best player in the world to not have a main dedicated AWPer being the #1 rated player in the world. Or we even have to go back to 2015 when GetRight was #1 in the world, since Hallzerk were still a beast with the AWP. So to see changes to such an important role will rub people different. Some will love to see Rifle getting more attention and spotlight, with Nico, Rain and other riflers probably gonna rise up here and be very good. While some will think the AWP role might disappear then. But again, on teams like G2, Mouse and FaZe, we are still seeing AWPers shine with Brokey, Monacy and Torsi, so it's not all doom and gloom for the AWPers. We don't know the greatest AWPers we are seeing in CS2 will work around this and return as the best in the world. But for now, we have to wait and see. Would love to hear what you guys think of these changes. Thank you for watching, here are 2 videos YouTube told me you would like.